This is Luke Charlton, and welcome to the Jumpstart Marketing Show. I'd like to introduce my business partner on the other end of the line. Jim, I'm afraid to ask you to say hello.
Say hi, Jim. Hello, everybody.
Hey. So let's get into today's episode. What we want to do, Jim, you're echoing there a little bit. All right, so we just edited it out because there was so much echo there in the background. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. A couple of episodes ago, we showed you how to become the best marketer in the world by asking your target market basically what they want, what their fears are, what their frustrations are. Now we want to show you a technique that is going to help you, again, to become a really, really great marketer. And some of us coaches, I know, especially for me, first getting into the industry, we're pounded by marketing messages from these gurus, right? That seem to be selling coaching over and over again. And we kind of, sometimes we feel a little bit jealous or a bit frustrated because, you know, how can they so easily sell so much coaching? They've got a big list, et cetera, et cetera. And we get kind of stuck in their marketing message. One of the things Jim and I want to share with you today is to not to get angry at the gurus, but to simply take a step back and learn from what it is that they are doing, how they're communicating with their target market, how they're attracting clients and customers. So one of the things that Jim and I do that what we'll do to become better marketers ourselves is not only will we buy other programs from other gurus selling to the people that we want to attract, whether it's our direct competitors, that's people selling the same stuff as us, so coaching to our clients, or indirect competitors. So they're not our direct competition, but they're still selling something, a product or a service, to our dream clients. So that might be the International Coaching Federation. So they're not our direct competitors, but They're still selling something like their membership for the International Coaching Federation. So what we would do is we would join lists, we will join even sometimes coaching programs to find out the process that these direct and indirect competitors use to attract the same clients that we want to attract. And just through this, what I found is just through this process of observation, which is the big message that Jim and I want to send through in this video, just through the process of observation, you can learn so much about how to attract your dream client just by observing how the top people in the game are doing it. So the message here is not to get angry at the people that are doing better than you. It's to learn from them, to sit back, take notes, read the emails from a different point of view. Like, don't get sucked into the marketing message. Like, yes, you might want to join up to their program, but take a step and see, like, well, that's a great email, that's a great headline, this is a great Facebook ad. What's the next page? Once I click onto the Facebook ad, one of the things Jim and I will do, and he's going to talk about how to do it offline in a minute. One of the things Jim and I will do is, if we see a great ad from one of our competitors on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, we'll click on it, then we'll look at the squeeze page. We might take screenshots and look at the headline, then we'll opt into their email list, look at the follow-up sequence, look at how they're selling our dream client. And you're just going to learn so much, and you can tell pretty quickly whether they're successful or not. Simple things like on Facebook ads that have really high engagement, lots of comments. For example, Lewis Howes, and we've all seen that campaign from Lewis Howes where he's promoting his webinar. Right. He's got 2,500 likes on one Facebook ad. So obviously you can tell if he's got that many likes, it's doing pretty well. So that's probably a campaign that you want to pay close attention to if selling webinars to coaches or fitness industry is your thing. So I think for me, for online, one of the things you can start doing on Facebook especially is think about who your dream client is. Start going and liking all of the same interests that your dream client has. So if you know your dream client likes Jack Canfield, go like that. Or if you know your dream client likes CrossFit, for example. Or if you know your dream client likes, I don't know, Kim Kardashian, for example, go like Kim Kardashian and just start noticing all the ads that come that start popping up in your newsfeed, because they're going to be your direct and indirect competitors, and start learning from them. That's a really quick way you can do it. And Jim, I'll hand it over to you, on how you use this observation technique to become a better marketer.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so and it's funny because you threw the Kim Kardashian word out there, and I did a whole video on how to become a celebrity without, basically without getting naked like Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian, because they had as coaches we have a certain amount of assets. They used a whole different set of assets to get themselves famous. So, but actually, it was funny because if you did learn anything from them, it's where they appear. So the photos of Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, still popular now. It's funny, where they often appear is actually some of the best ways to learn how to write copy for your ads. And that's in the grocery store checkout line. Usually you're standing in line behind somebody, and there's a magazine rack on either side of you, and those magazines will contain like a National Enquirer or World News or People magazine. Yep. And I'm looking at more the not the Time magazine necessarily or like a Newsweek, but more of the celebrity-based TMZ type things or National Enquirer. But basically those magazines have, like a Cosmopolitan I think has a space for 5 short headlines, and those headlines are sometimes only 3 to 7 words long. Yep. So that's what they use to sell the magazine. Other than the image, like maybe a Kim Kardashian is, she's pregnant from an alien now or something, yeah. Which that might be a headline they're using. Well, people don't have time to stay in the grocery store line, pick up that magazine because the headline caught their attention. They might skim through the magazine, but they'll often purchase it because of the headlines that occurred. So I picked this up probably from Dan Kennedy because that was my guru back in the 90s. Just the best way you can do research and development all you want, but some of the best research and development is to actually instead of doing R&D, do S&D, steal and deploy. Forget research and development, steal and deploy. And in my case, it was always grab the magazine, look at the headlines, what's attracting people, what seems to be the magazines being pulled off the most, and try to use those headlines to fit my copywriting or my ad or my landing page or maybe the whole thought process of titling a course. So that was probably the easiest, fastest way to observe, at least on the copywriting side, how to really take instead of getting angry at your competition, as you said, don't get angry. You should actually get excited and find what they're doing. And I'm glad you brought up a great point, Luke, because there's a lot of Facebook ads that, as an example of Facebook, that aren't successful. So you don't want to just copy a Facebook ad just because it's a Facebook ad that you've seen 100 times. That doesn't mean that they're converting. It doesn't mean that their system is converting. It doesn't mean that they have a great offer or a great webinar, or they know how to put an offer, a webinar, and a presentation together. So those are the other pieces of the puzzle that you and I work on in a business model, or coaching our clients. But sometimes those ads aren't the best converting. And people don't necessarily know why. And that's something I think we're going to be discussing in the next episode, something about, how to attract the right client.
Yep.
Using the right words.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, thanks, Jim. If this episode resonated for you and, you got some great value out of it, what we would love for you to do is just there'll be a share button somewhere around here on this blog. Just hit the share button and... just hit the share button and share it with another coach who could use some help in growing their business or marketing, or just that would get great value out of this Jumpstart Marketing Show. So that's the message for today's show. Observe your competition, observe your indirect competition, learn from them, learn what they're doing to attract your dream client, and model that. Find out what works. Use similar headlines. Find out what's working in your marketplace, because it's going to work for you attracting your clients. Make sense? So again, share it. Thanks, Jim. I will see you on the next Jumpstart Marketing Show.
Sounds good. Thanks, y'all.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon.